Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Top 5 and 5. 5 stocks in 5 minutes. So there's a lot to go over here, and I'm going to just jump right into it. Just me looking at the cues. Look, you broke the 8. You haven't done that in some time. Just why I have this up. Just be aware of that. And the majority of stocks we're going to go over tonight are going to be earnings plays. There's one that looks like a key reversal to me that started happening today that had earnings yesterday, and I'll get to that at the end. So let's just focus on what's transpiring here after hours. Affirm is the first stock. Let me just clear this up and clean this out. So what we want to look for here is this is what we did today before earnings on Affirm. This is what we're doing after earnings on Affirm. Okay, I don't know why there was such massive selling, why people thought that this was going to act like, UPST, but it's a completely different business. So it just doesn't make any sense to me. But this is really very simple. You're not even really looking to get above this wick, and I'll put the key levels on here as well for each stock. All you're looking to do is get above 168 and 3/4. If you can get above this 168 and 3/4 level, that wick right there, don't worry about this one, okay, then you can see a push to this. Through that, we have this, okay? So you could probably get up to this 184, 185 level fairly quickly. I think there's a real chance of this happening tomorrow. If you just look at what's going on after hours, because I read the report as fast as I could, but there are parts of it that are pretty complicated, for me anyway. So it just wasn't, some things weren't very clear that it wasn't apples to apples. And I think that's why it actually took a while for it to really kick in. But look, you're hitting that level we were just talking about, right? That's why it's there. Bonk, bonk, bonk. So you want to flip that, support becomes resistance. APP, so this is another one that's sold down. And then after selling down, let me just pull this up here. After selling down, you can see where we're at, right? And now you can see what we're doing. So this is really simple. This is the high right here. Okay, let me just mark it. 104. Okay, so far we were up, and it's a thinly traded one. So you're going to have to look at this a little bit. You have to be somewhat close with this. But it's a thinly traded one. But you see how you tested this level already? Okay, it was a revenue beat. Tested this level already. So that's going to be your level. That's going to be the level that you're going to want to look at. Okay, and that's that 104.67 level. As always, please subscribe to the channel. Click notifications. What we go over here is extremely timely. You don't want to be looking at this 2-3 weeks from now. You want to be looking at it immediately. Open. So this is one where we all kind of expected it to pull a Zillow, right? We all remember that one. Zillow came out and absolutely blew up. So everybody kind of felt like that's what was going to happen here. That's not really what's happening. And there's a wedge here, okay? The report from what I'm reading is really good, but there's a wedge here. Very simple wedge trade. If you open above this wedge, okay, just above that wedge, you can put the trade on. Or just very simply, wait for that 22.84, get above that higher high on the wedge. Could take you to the top of the wedge, could take you to 25, let's call it, right around there. There should be a trade there. Sophie's earnings report was frankly very good. Going through it, I was kind of surprised at how good it actually was. Put these indicators on for a moment. So here we are, and we've been playing around a little bit with this, but notice how the volume's getting greener and greener, right? People building positions. Here's your trend line. We've broken through that trend line. Click off these for one moment, and now you can see this reversal. All we're trying to do is get above this level off the open. If you can stay above this 22.81 tomorrow off the open, you have a real shot here of major follow through. So I would watch that. Usually if you get through this flagpole after breaking down below it, and you can see what happened here, right? How you just tested. Here, let's look at this because this is important to understand. See how you tested that low area right here, 21.59, and then you open here, right? And now look where you are. So getting above 22.81, you have a clear reversal. You can wait for the 23.40 if you want. but it's definitely worth watching. And this has a lot of room to go. I mean, after you're through that level, your next level's here, 25.5. Through that, you're here, and then you could start really moving. So there's a lot of potential for this name. You know, there's a lot of really good earnings and a lot of really good earnings moves that came out this evening. So okay, UPST is 5th. And let's just review what's going on here and why. So you look at that chart and you're going to say, well, that's not really something I want to buy with pre and post data, right? Then you come here and you take a look at it. And what you're going to notice are a couple things, right? You're going to notice that you have a line that's going to be right here. And I showed this last night. And I said, you might actually bounce off this line. And I just want to show you something. Okay, that's why I leave these lines in. So in other words, this upper trend line becomes a lower channel, right? That's how it works. If you don't know how to draw support and resistance lines properly, I'm going to link a video at the end of this along with the candlestick video. What I like here is how you held, okay? So that doesn't really tell me much, right? Because if you look at that, you're going to say, I got to get above this because I can gap fill to the 50. Which I think you can. I think you can gap fill to the 50. Okay, and if you look at the action at the end of the day, we saw some buying. Now what I like and what you really have to understand is why it's important to understand pattern recognition. Okay, because you could look at that and go, well, that's not really something that I want to play with. Well, if you overlay this trend and how you respected that trend and you understand candlestick patterns, and I'm going to link that in the back, you would understand that this is a wedge line. This is a bullish hook reversal, right? This was your kicker bar. This is when you triggered, and then off you go. So this is building. Okay, so all you're really looking for tomorrow, frankly, is for this continuation pattern. So really all you're looking for is to get above this level. So you're really looking for 259. If you want to get super specific, and we can use this wick, okay, 259.75 is what you're looking for. So that's it for this evening. If you could do me a favor and please comment on this video and what other kinds of videos you want me to put out, and also share it. I don't run commercials on purpose. That's why YouTube doesn't put it out as often, because their algorithm picks it up that you're not putting commercials in the middle. So if you could share it, I sure would appreciate it. And as always, everybody, trade sharp tomorrow.